Welcome back to the Ultimate Cleveland Sports Show. We're talking Cleveland Cavaliers now, and they're the story of the town. It really is crazy, and it's a good thing because we need a diversion from our Browns at just 2 wins at this point in the season. How much of an advantage is it for the Cavaliers that late in games, it doesn't just have to be Donovan Mitchell. They have multiple closers now. Not every team in the NBA can say that. Jason, how does that change their life?
Huge. It's huge. And I think the Philly game the other night's a great example of that because you don't have to have Donovan do it every night now, but when you need him, he's there. It's the club in your bag. It's the hybrid, whatever you feel comfortable hitting, when you're in a tough spot. But last year, they were hitting hybrid from 300 yards and from 100 yards. That's the only club that they had late in games.
Number 45.
Just give it to Donovan and get out of the way. Now, you can rely on Darius. Darius's numbers, clutch numbers, Mike and I talked about on our podcast this week. Darius's clutch numbers are through the roof.
I know.
And I think it's a relief to Donovan. He has the trust in Darius now. We spent a lot of time talking about that going back to last year and even Donovan's first year here about he felt like he had to control everything and win every game, and he doesn't feel that way now, and he's relinquished some of the control. And Darius certainly looks like the Darius of old and playing really the best version of himself. When you have two guys like that, it's hard for defenses. You can no longer load up on Donovan and assume that he's going to get the last shot every time. They have someone else who's equally or even more capable of taking it.
Is Boston the only true other contender that has that?
There's probably other teams in the West, maybe.
In the West, for sure.
In the West, I think there are a couple of other teams. But, that's a good point. I don't know in the East. I don't know that there are other teams that have that kind of luxury.
You should be able to say theoretically Paul George or Joel Embiid in Philly.
But they're just such a mess.
I know. New York should have.
You got Jalen Brunson.
Anybody with Brunson?
Carl Anthony Towns is.
Yeah, I guess so.
He's one of the best big shooters in the game. I like what I like about this most is when you watch these certain games and you look at Philadelphia, the game against the Bulls. It's not just, hey, we're going to go ISO and we're going to take a hero shot. Like, there is multiple rotations of the basketball. So now you can't just load the defense up and set your rotations and set your defense to guys running pick and roll. I think that when you are able to move the basketball and you do have Donovan Mitchell who are able to hit clutch step-back shots like you see right here, and Darius Garland able to get to the rim and throw lobs to Jared Allen or Evan Mobley, I think you give yourself a great opportunity to build these habits so that, guess what, when the playoffs come around, they're not going to be nervous that you're getting the ball. It's not the first time you touch the ball all game. So I like the way the ball movement is, and I just like the way that they're going at trying to close these games as a unit rather than individually.
Great point. I think their passing is like when a hockey team's on a break and you get that tic-tac-toe passing, and the puck never stops.
Yep.
And watching this Cavs team reminds me a ton of watching the Warriors at their peak. The ball never stops. And that was the antithesis of the JB offense. With JB, the ball rarely moved. There was just too much holding the ball, and it was stale, and it was stagnant. What I most love about this two-closer discussion is that, and we saw it with the jab step from Mitchell before he stepped back and hit that three. Both of these guys are two-way threats. They can beat you penetrating to the hole, so they get you on your heels, and both of them will easily step back and dagger that three. And what Mitchell did late in the game against Philly, that was on full display. He just basically said, guys, you've been great to this point. It's closing time. I've got this.
Let me run on for 11 real quick.
That's exactly what he did. It was stunning how quickly he was like a microwave. He just threw up double-digit points in a minute and a half, and you're like, okay, that's how good he can be. Because you have two of those guys that can get you in or out. We haven't even mentioned Evan Mobley yet.
At all.
At some point, teams are going to have to pick their poison.
Yeah.
You're either going to guard these guys on the perimeter and let the bigs handle them if they come in. If you choose to come out and guard them there, that's going to open up things for Evan Mobley, who at some point in time in this season is also going to be added to this closer mix.
This is a fun style of basketball to watch, and the Cavs have When's the last time a Cavs team played this style of basketball? Was it the 90s? Like, was it the 80s with Doherty and Price? I mean,
well, there was some of that with LeBron. I thought during LeBron's tenure here, there was a little bit of it.
Yeah, there was.
But this is the first time I've ever seen it without LeBron James on the team.
I mean, there was a lot of standing around.
It was a lot of
dribbling.
standing around and pounding, but it was also a lot of LeBron and Kyrie ball in their hands and kicking to the shooters.
Go back and watch
with Kyrie.
The Toronto series. I remember the Toronto series where they hit 30,000 threes and Channing Frye killed them. They was moving the ball.
There was Atlanta series where Mike Budenholzer had tears in his eyes trying to figure out how to guard these guys. So it has happened. But an important point to make on Darius and Donovan, both of them are very comfortable. They've shown this year they're comfortable with the ball in their hands and they're comfortable without the ball in their hands.
Right.
And that makes it even harder to guard them in a late game scenario when you need one basket.
The improvement of Darius Garland I think he's even exceeded where he was when he was an all-star. He's doing things that we knew he could do, but he'd never done consistently.
Yeah.
This is, I think, one of the biggest storylines in the NBA this year is the reemergence of Darius Garland and how important it's been to the Cavs creeping up to where they are. Do they get to 14-0? Tonight, at home against Chicago, they are favored. It's a game they should win, but this is the NBA. Any given
I mean, they got to be a little tired because they haven't had multiple days off in a while, but I'm still going to go. I mean, if I'm betting the game, I'm either betting the Cavs or no play. I'm not going to bet on the Bulls, even at minus 10.5. So, yes, the Cavs will win tonight.
Evan Mobley's questionable tonight, feeling a little under the weather. Something to watch.
He also was in Philly and went.
Yeah, and he played, to your point, not multiple days off, but Philly's a quick flight home. They had the day off yesterday.
Yeah.
I'll take the Cavs whether Mobley plays or not.
I'm going to take the Cavs, even though the Bulls are pesky. Kobe White plays awesome against them. Dosumo plays well. I'm gonna go ahead and say Ty Jerome has another big night. All of a sudden he's that guy now. Get on the Ty Jerome plan. So I think he has a big night. I think the Cavs move and continue to move on the undefeated streak.
That's a lot of points to give. I'm going to take the Bulls and those points. One thing that we have seen, and we've already seen it from this Chicago team just a couple of nights ago. You're going to get effort against the Cavs every single night.
Been much closer.
If I'm Philly, I'm very proud of my team and the way they went out Wednesday night and played.
Sure.
Nobody packed it in. They had every reason to with their stars being out. They didn't. They played hard. This Bulls team will play hard. It will be close most of the way, but I think the Cavs will still pull it out, and we'll go for 15 in a row Sunday when they host the Charlotte Hornets.
And one last thing to keep in mind, tonight is the Cavs' first game in the Emirates NBA Cup, and point differential actually matters in the Emirates NBA Cup in terms of who advances as a wild card team if you don't win your group. So the Cavs may actually keep their starters in a little more, or the Bulls keep their starters in to close the gap if needed.
Yeah,
so
it is
something to keep an eye on.
It is absurd. I agree with you both. The question is, will they play for this? So teams are playing for this.
Well, Cavs are.
I love the holiday gimmicks.
Well, are they doing it because of the streak or because of the Emirates
both.
Cup?
I mean, this is for as well as they're playing, and they made it to the conference semis last year. This is still the team that needs to play high-level games.
Right.
And say what you want, I think the NBA Cup thing is silly, but it is an opportunity to play in high-level games.
All right, very good. The whole idea was to draw interest to the normally boring part of the season, and we'll see if that works. All right, we're taking a break. When we come back, who wins Sunday down in New Orleans, the Browns or the Saints? We tell you in our pre-written headlines.